to you from Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
Welcome back to Sips on the Rock.
Welcome, everybody, to a special Wednesday recording of Sips on the Rock. As you can see, we are minus Jake Dell today, but the lovely Rachel Marks is standing in for Mr. Dell. He is out with a little sore throat.
I'm sure he's sick about not being able to be here to join us today, and we miss him. We hope he gets to feeling better soon.
Being a man down makes it a little bit hectic in the mornings around here, especially when you try to throw in an unscheduled podcast.
Right.
This is true.
But yeah, so Rachel is coming up on 1 year with us now.
Yeah,
yes,
I think this next week.
Literally tomorrow is my 1 year anniversary. Yes. So very exciting.
Yeah,
Gone by very fast.
It had. Well, we were talking this morning. 1 year. It seems so short, but you think how long a year ago was. It's just such a crazy construct of time.
Yeah, it goes by quickly.
So Rachel comes to us from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Give us your life story.
Sure. How much time do we have? So I've been in New Orleans for the past 10 years. I've spent the past 5 years studying wine with my best friend and master sommelier. His name is Dane. And I've continued into that journey, and I'm here. I just became certified with WSET, which is the level 2.
That's right.
Award in wines.
That's
very
right.
cool. Very cool.
Big congratulations to Rachel.
Thank you.
So that's pretty involved testing, right? Lots of studying. And
yes,
hard
a
tests.
lot of studying. The difference between the WSET and the sommelier exam is sommelier is very heavily focused on the serving aspect of wine,
Right.
where the WSET focuses more on if you're going to write about wine.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, but same material basically.
Yeah. Just you serve yourself more with the WSET.
I think so.
As opposed to the tables you're trying to sell wine to. Well, that's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to give us a little, us and some of our newer staff members, some education training.
Yes, we've started the classroom. So weekly post in there stuff about wine, spirits, but I've been focusing on the wine aspect for sure.
Right.
So just so you guys know who are listening, this is it's an internal staff classroom that we've started that's in our little online chat that we have. And it's actually something that eventually at some point in time we might try to branch out and do more of a public education center. That's actually one thing that we're trying to move towards with our old tasting bar, or our tasting bar, is to do some sort of a cool education center there. Obviously, with any good idea, it takes time to get it together. So
it will happen.
Yeah, it will happen eventually.
Most assuredly.
So what is wine?
What is wine?
Delicious.
Yeah.
Wine is delicious.
Yeah.
It's history in a bottle.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's an alcohol beverage made up of fermented grapes. It could also be fermented fruit, but traditionally fermented grapes is wine.
Right.
And the difference between your table grape and wine grape is that wine grapes are smaller. They have thicker skins, and they contain more sugar for the yeast to eat up and turn into alcohol.
That's right. And lovely juice. And the wine production grapes are much, much tighter clusters as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Tighter clusters. And those, like I said, those thick skins. So, yeah.
We love them all.
Yeah. We've got friends, obviously Audrey House and the Post family. They have the Post family wines in Arkansas, and Audrey has Chateau Aux Arc in Arkansas. So we get to see a lot of firsthand winemaking. Every once in a while, we'll go up there and kind of watch the process, and it's a lot of fun.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So speaking of the process, right now everyone is in the middle of harvest. So, time to get the grapes off the vines and
Very true. Very true.
get them smashed. And how does that process work?
So, it's different between old world versus new world, which we can go into that a little bit later. But, if your vineyard's on a slope, you're going to want to individual people go and pick these clusters. But some new world wines, you'll see machinery out there actually picking the clusters for it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. And then that vine sits there and regrows in the spring.
Right. Yeah. Goes to sleep for the winter.
Correct. Yeah.
Very cool. So, what is your favorite wine?
Ooh. So I really enjoy old world wines, just because what that means is they're stricter on what can go into a bottle of wine and use more traditional winemaking processes. But what's cool about New World wine, which would be your California American wines, is that there are less rules. So there's more room for experimenting, which is really nice. My favorite wine, I really enjoy the Nebbiolo grape in Italy. It's
one you don't hear of very often.
No, you don't.
It's a beast. And so, especially from the Barolo area, they're very heavy, very chewy.
Yeah.
I love a big chewy wine.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where it gets confusing. Italy and France, they don't go by the grape name on the bottle. It's all regional.
Yes.
That's why, people find it so daunting.
That's another aspect of old world,
Yeah.
like Italy and France, is you will not find the grape name on the bottle. It is by the region. But, that can be so simplified. It doesn't have to be so snooty, the wine world, which is okay. That part of the wine world is awesome. But I think I like to bridge between the two worlds of simplifying wine and the high class, the unknown parts of wine.
Right. And, I've seen every now and then you'll see a French wine that has a grape name on the bottle. And the French thing is trash. It's oh, that's so American.
Right. And a lot of that, a lot of those areas, that's like grape juice from not a single vineyard.
Right.
From all over the appellation or the village that it comes from. So
yeah,
really
cool. They have a different way of classifying, labeling, where it comes from, how it's made. All of that.
It's wild.
So what about new wines that we've had come in recently? What are some new wines of note that we need to mention?
So I am really hooked up on this Bloodroot Chardonnay. I know we've had it for about a month lately, but
good stuff.
Once it comes in, I have to grab a bottle.
But is that isn't there also a Bloodroot as a rosé of Chardonnay?
Yes, we do have the Chardonnay. I think it's just a great producer.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
I actually haven't tried it yet, and again. I'm rarely ever around when the tastings happen, so I probably missed it when the reps came in and said, "Hey,
probably." It when we tasted it, it drinks like a $40-$50 bottle, and it's somewhere around $20.
Right. We also
grab me one on the way out the door today.
Yeah, you should. Just finished one last night.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we also just brought in a few different Italian wines. They're all Primitivo, which, in case you don't know, Primitivo is the Zinfandel grape, which they were fantastic. And one of them is a Primitivo Rosé, which I know what you're thinking, white Zinfandel, but that's not the case. This is a
no
dry,
sugar added.
Yeah. No sugar added. This is a dry Zinfandel Rosé, and it's beautiful. So those are some really cool wines that we brought in recently, and very, very affordable and approachable flavor-wise.
I'm a big fan of rosé, and not just summer hot weather drink either. It's becoming a year-round, and that's kind of how I'd normally drink wines. I lean towards reds in the winter and whites, a nice cool crisp during the summer. I'm not a stickler for you've got to have white with chicken and seafood.
I do.
It's a guideline in my opinion, not a rule.
It comes in handy.
I
sometimes.
understand.
Yeah, it comes in handy, but also, I can drink red wine, a big chewy red wine, all summer long. I just love red wine.
Me too. I feel like red is what I fell in love with first, and since I've gotten into the world of wine, has opened my palate up to rosés and chardonnays and other crispy whites.
I feel like people who are just getting into the wine scene, generally will gravitate more towards sweeter wines, and then gradually grow an appreciation for wine until they get into the drier things. Because if you're not a wine drinker, you've never drinking wine in your life, and you go directly into a big heavy cab, it's maybe not going to appeal to you right at first.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, there is a place in this world for sweet wines.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I like naturally sweet though,
especially
as opposed
some
to
Sauternes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Get some Noble Rot, those late harvests.
Yes.
Those I like those.
Yes.
Not.
And what a cool thing that just happens. Noble Rot. It has to be the perfect climate, the perfect conditions for that to happen in that part of the world.
That's
and
amazing.
Right. Yeah. And that that's literally just the grape sitting on the vine after harvest, and they're sitting there on their way to shrivel up and become a raisin.
Right.
And so like when you press them, you get those raisiny hints.
Absolutely.
The natural sugars come out more.
I do love that too.
Such good stuff.
Yeah.
The world of wine is just you could study it a lifetime and still not know everything.
Right.
It's just immense.
I mean, it's wild, and like I said, the world provides us with such crazy conditions for these things to happen. I was just reading, this is about sake, but there's a certain microbe that grows only in Japan that if it didn't exist, miso, sake, and sake would not exist.
Really?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Just wouldn't. Yeah.
Interesting you say that. Last week or the week before, anyway, we mentioned Ben Bell, and where in the world is Ben Bell? He popped up in Hot Springs in Arkansas Business this week. His sake distillery is coming online. So
awesome.
Little teaser, we will definitely drag him by the short hairs in here and get him to talk sake one day.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You've yet to meet Ben Bell.
I mean, a sake maker from here in Arkansas.
Yeah. Just like his passion is sake.
Yeah, he went to Japan and studied for years, and the team he's put together is just it's mind blowing that it's going to come from here.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So he's got his.
About it. We knew he was doing something. We haven't gotten details on it just yet. But yeah, literally right after we talked about him in one of our last shows, he popped up in the news.
He's the pictures in the article. I mean, he's going to be up and running like real soon. He's already got the bar set up and everything.
Oh,
and that's in Hot Springs. It's not going to be here in Little Rock.
Do we know where in Hot Springs?
I'll tell you next week.
Okay.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
Shout out Ben Bell.
Yeah.
Ben Bell, give us a call. Hey, here, let's. Ben Bell, yay.
We have to test our sound again and make sure we're not going to blow a mic like we did last time.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
he hit the button for Jake last time, and it came across a lot louder.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize there was a volume button for that.
We're new, we're still feeling our way. No worries.
The new technologies.
So some other funny things that we have come across is this whole discussion about whether or not to blend your wine. And I'm not talking about a meritage.
Like a literal blender.
Put the stuff in a blender.
Ninja bullet.
For what was the term? Super decanting or something.
Super decanting, super aerating wine.
Where did this come from? I've never heard of this.
So
before.
actually, we were speaking this morning about this article I found that was a proponent of it. And then I found an article, and apparently Connor Roy on Succession was talking about it.
Oh, really? I love that show.
Some seasons ago. I mean, it's a great show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
But he's, hyper decanting. That's what it is. He's hyper decanting some of his wines, and he says you can go, age it 5 years in 10 seconds, and saying how wonderful it makes the wine, and
right,
just like a normal home blender.
Yeah. Well, one article said, use a blending stick. Don't throw it in your Vitamix or something. Because you might have some
like an emulser, like a
morning smoothie taint.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
I'm still iffy on the whole subject, but I'm definitely willing to give it a try.
I think that should be an experiment we do sometime.
Oh,
but yeah,
absolutely.
I'm leaning towards camp. No, do not blend your wine.
I'm leaning towards that too.
Right. But it's an interesting concept,
Well, yeah, and actually, this article I read is like William Sonoma is talking about doing it, and like there's this French TikToker who gained over 1 million views blending her wine.
Wow.
I mean, just I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy fads.
Right. I just, I feel like that would separate important things with that makes up a wine, but maybe not. Maybe it just like blends it all.
Doesn't it make you wonder, like, who is it that sits around and says, I wonder what would happen if I just poured this bottle of wine in the blender?
Right.
Well, so I think you've got over there a list of top 10 wines not to put in a blender.
Right. The most expensive wines in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this list was kind of amazing that it cut off that's number one there at the bottom.
Right. So, other than, of course, Burgundy, your Burgundy wines, your Grand Crus are going to be the most expensive wines in the world. So, a lot of Montrachet, a lot of Grand Cru Montrachet. Definitely do not want to put these in a blender.
No. This is not what you want to test the blender with.
Right.
I mean, these are, $36,000 a bottle.
$36,000, $31,000 a bottle.
Right. And all of those in the top 10 are Burgundy, except for one. I believe it was German, maybe. It looked German. I didn't read where it came from.
Okay, so that's definitely.
Yeah, say that word right there.
Which one? Oh, Trockenbeernalese.
Okay.
Let me get it right. Yeah, I took German for some years.
No, it's
Trockenbeernalese.
Oh,
Yeah.
That sounded right. Yeah. Didn't that sound correct?
Did, yeah. It's a Riesling.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive Riesling.
What was the price
Egon
on that
Mueller.
Oh, no, that's a bargain at $16,165.
I'm sorry,
I'll take a case.
You said there was a Riesling?
Right here.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, the German wine. It's a Riesling.
Holy smokes.
Trockenbeerlese, I believe. I'm kind of rusty on my terms of, sweet to, what they label their sweet wines and their classification. But I believe that term is a classification to how much sugar is in their Riesling.
Speaking of Rieslings, I mean, I love Rieslings. I love how unique. It's not unlike any other white wine, in my opinion. It's very unique.
Yes,
taste.
Absolutely.
And I actually try to when I'm downstairs talking to folks. Sometimes I try to gravitate people towards Rieslings and introduce them to Rieslings as opposed to other sweet wines, because they're just so unique, and you can even find some. It's rare, but some dry Rieslings every once in a while.
Right. And those are all going to be your Alsace and German Rieslings. Anything in America is going to be sweeter. It's going to have either that added sugar, or they're going to, like the grapes harvest for longer, creating more sugar. So the yeast literally cannot eat all that sugar. But, German Rieslings, I think they're great, but they have a classification of how much sugar is in each wine.
So, do you remember of all the different classifications of Rieslings, which ones are sweet to?
So
this?
Anything that's your Cabernet, I believe, is going to be your sweet wines. But there's also 3 classifications within that. And I'm definitely going to have to do some more studying up on
we'll
Germany.
We'll put some information out there because there's Bursteminers, there's Cabernets, all the different ones, and I've heard Altus,
yeah.
There's all different kinds of
Spatlesa.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be kind of cool maybe if we posted something on this thread, on this live thread about the sweetness levels of all those. That'd be kind of interesting information, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, speaking of Germany real quick, also we've got Oktoberfest coming up. We'll be talking more about that in the future. Lots of fun stuff going on here locally with Rocktoberfest.
Yes.
Going to be a local brew competition, I believe over in North Little Rock. We're doing a drawing. I believe we don't have a tasting on beers tomorrow. We're having a spirit tasting. But you can still come in and get registered for your free tickets. We'll be doing a drawing for the Rocktoberfest soon.
Also, just one thing, be on the lookout for my horror movie wine pairing.
Oh, that's right.
For the month of October.
Right. We've been, we're already talking about fall and how excited we are. Rachel's already talking about her Halloween pairing wines, and she did a really cool job last year.
I am a summer lover. I was born in the heat of summer. I love the heat of summer. I'm so ready for this summer to end. I don't know what it is.
It's so hot.
I think I'm just ready to put up Halloween decorations. But I mean, it's like Uncle.
Yeah. Right.
I'm tired of the grass growing.
I know.
So we've got football starting up this weekend. Hogs playing Cincinnati, I believe.
Sports.
Sports ball. Sports. We don't have Jake. Jake is like a sports nut.
If Jake was here, he could lead the team on this.
Oh, God. But we did get, a lot of Razorback
accessories
things in today. Koozies, shot glasses,
wine
cups,
glasses.
Wine glasses. Some openers, this, that, and the other. Go Hogs.
Yes.
Go Hogs.
Whoop, whoop. That is this weekend. We also talked about, I don't know how the heck we got talking about the Cheese Dip Festival, but
I can tell you, we were talking about another event that was happening at the stadium, and then it made me think about the Cheese Dip Festival when we started talking about it.
Well, after diligent research, I have found out that yes, it is going on again this year.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
It is. Let's see when October the 30th.
Nice.
So not too far away. Cheese Dip was made here in Arkansas. Originated here. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So, you didn't.
That's a big.
You didn't move this to some podunk state.
That's a big claim to fame.
Yeah. So, every year they've been doing the. They're now calling it the World Cheese Dip Championship, benefiting Harmony Health. 100% of proceeds go to Harmony Health. It's a cool deal. But they have also been so kind enough to give us a discount code.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to cheesedip.org, was it? Cheesedip.net. I'm sorry, .net. Cheesedip.net to get your tickets. Type in Sips on the Rock and get your discount code redeemed.
That's right.
That's
really awesome.
Very cool.
I'll be doing that.
It's a fun thing. And, people... they get a muffin tin and take it with them when they go. You can put your individual cups in the muffin tin and walk around
so
with it.
Smart.
Just walk around eating cheese dip.
Yes.
The last time we went, the weather was perfect.
They've got beer and sodas and waters out there, so it's a fun event.
That's awesome.
Labor Day this weekend. I know we've all three got big plans.
Yeah, coincidentally, all three of us are going to be in New Orleans this weekend, totally unplanned.
We are. Yeah, so excited. Yeah. I already have a list of places to eat and drink.
You might need to share that with us.
Why don't you real fast tell us? I mean, you're from New Orleans.
Sure,
so
yes.
You know, all the hidey holes that we probably don't know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what are the
where is one for sure not to miss place on your list?
Yeah.
To eat?
Yeah.
Okay, so for casual dining, if you want a big plate of seafood,
Yes, please.
On Decatur Street, there's a little place called Coop's Place. You have to be 21 to go and to eat there, because the drinks and whatever.
Wow.
But it's delicious, and I will definitely write that down and share with you guys.
I'm going to rewatch this and because I will go back to this point and
Yes.
rewatch.
Coop's Place, if you want like a really great po' boy, right outside of the quarter, there's a place called Parkway Tavern and Bakery. That is where you need to go get a po' boy. It's, cannot wait.
So far, I've not heard of either one of those restaurants, so I'm glad.
I know.
Yes. And many more.
When you go to the quarter, a lot of times you just you're in this little area and just hanging out and doing all the party things, and so actually doing the culture thing and checking all the food and restaurants and stuff out, it's kind of hard sometimes.
Culture smulcher.
Yeah.
Give me a hurricane.
Right. And also one of the best fancier seafood restaurants out there is Peche, Peche. It is delicious seafood. They also have.
Did we go there?
No. You keep talking that while I'm
yeah. So it's a great seafood restaurant. When I say fancy, like my fancy, right? It's not like super old white tablecloth, like
right.
old New Orleans restaurant.
Mm.
It's just
upscale,
and it's probably going to be busy and cocktails.
I love all those things.
Right.
Well, when we were there a few months ago, we went to this place. It sounds very familiar, or the names might be similar, but it was kind of out of the quarter, warehousey. I remember a big bridge
district
nearby.
Yeah. It's over there, but there's also so many others over there. There's Merrill's one.
It's hard to find a bad restaurant.
Honestly, really,
it is. Even the worst restaurants in New Orleans are still, pretty amazing.
Pretty good.
Especially, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right. But, nothing beats like the old school New Orleans restaurants, like white tablecloth. You got your Galatoirs, you got your Arnauds.
Commander's Palace.
Right. Yes, all those fun Tony's.
Where you can get a nice wine pairing and who doesn't love
Mr. B's Bistro is another one you need to put on your list for if you want a good steak.
Okay.
Mr. B's Bistro, that's in the French Quarter across from Monteleon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
I'm gonna write all these down when we come back.
Right. We're actually running short on time today. I wanted to throw in Social Project Brewery. We just got them in last week. I believe it's Bentonville, perhaps. Arkansas beer.
Yes.
Great to try out on this Labor Day weekend. They've got, a few IPAs, hazy, a couple West Coast. They've got sours.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting is on their Mexican lager, which is a Vienna style lager, as all Mexicans are. This one says golden and crispy, which, normally you get more of malty with the Vienna lagers.
Sure.
So, it'd be interesting to try that one out. Social Project, made local.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Got them in the other day.
Right.
So speaking of local, just one more thing I just want to mention since we're talking about beer and local beers. We actually just posted on our website, legacylr.com. At the very bottom, there's a brewer's legacy brewer list. So all of the Arkansas breweries that are out there right now, there's a list with a map, and the reason being is because we have a lot of people come in and ask, where are all your local beers, and so now we've got a list out there. If these are all the local beers. This is we can find them in the store, but this is also where they're located. So that's kind of a
really cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are. We're going to get off here and go get ourselves ready to go to New Orleans this weekend.
That's right.
We'll be back on our normal schedule next week, Thursday, 4 o'clock, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us. And thank you, Rachel, for being here with us today.
Thanks
really for having me. It was really cool. Thank you.
We'll have you back on again, I can promise.
Right, definitely.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Be good.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.